Welcome to the Get More Clients Quick Start program, where we teach you how to get your first 5 clients in 30 days. Welcome to the Get More Clients Quick Start program, where we teach you how to get your first 5 clients in 30 days. We teach you a client attraction strategy that will help you start getting more money coming into your business quickly, helping you to jumpstart your business fast. As a quick start program, what I'm able to share here is only the tip of the iceberg. We cover this and other client attraction strategies in depth in our main program, the Get More Clients Mastery program. So let's get started. Now, I'm just going to quickly share a bit about myself with you. My name is Davida Yemi Akanle. I'm the founder and CEO of the Smart Marketers Academy, where I help women entrepreneurs build 6-figure businesses. Now, at the Smart Marketers Academy, one of the things we help you do is we help you with your transition from being an employee into entrepreneurship fast. And this is one of the key areas that we work with women in, and this is a very important area in your business development and in your marketing progress, because when you are an employee, the way you think is quite different. And what you have to also take note of is that you've spent so many years training to become a professional or an expert at whatever you do. But most people want to just take what they know and come in to another profession without realizing that it's a profession that they're coming into. They want to make that transition and find it difficult, because basically what they're doing is putting a square peg in a round hole, or vice versa. So basically what we help you do at the Smart Marketers Academy is to teach you strategies, skills, and help you change your mindset so that you're able to make that transition fast. We help you to build your business smart. So what I help you do is also to build your business with profits and clients factored in from ground up. Not all businesses are equal. You might have 2 coaching businesses, but the business model that they're built on may vary, and it would also determine the profit potential of that business, and it would determine how big or how scalable that business is or can become. The other thing we do for you is to help you get more clients, and this is the core part of the program that we're on today. And we're very much interested in helping you to make more profits. So we also do things like help you look at a target market and make sure it's a profitable one. However, on this course today, we're focusing on helping you get your first 5 clients. So we're just focusing on an element of all that we do in order to help you get unstuck and move forward quickly. And the other thing we help you do is to build a 6-figure business. So if you're up to it, if you're up to that challenge, we will work with you as you build a 6-figure business using our Smart Marketers Blueprint. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the aim of today's session. So in today's session, I'll be teaching you a step-by-step strategy that will help you to get your first 5 clients in 30 days. So it's your first 5 clients in 30 days. And in order for you to do this, I would assume that you already have a business idea. I would assume that you already have an idea of what you're going to sell. You have something to sell. And what we can work on is to help you bring all the different elements that you already have together and give you a step-by-step process that will help you to achieve that goal of securing your first 5 clients within 30 days. So let's have a quick look at what you would learn on this program. You learn how to set your marketing goal, and this program is a 30-day challenge. It's 5-day, get your first 5 clients in 30 days. So in a way, in a sense, we have set a goal for you within the program. However, you may want to look at your personal circumstances and see what would work for you. We would help you create We'll help you create an awareness for your business. So we teach you how to create awareness for your business. Marketing is simply about creating awareness. So that's one of the things that we would help you do. We would work with you or teach you strategies through which you can generate leads from your warm market. So one of the first steps of getting a client, before you get a client, you need to have a lead. So we would help you generate those leads. We'll teach you how you can generate those leads from your warm market. We would help you quickly look over some basic elements that would help you help ensure that you have a business foundation in place. We do not go in depth with this, but we just quickly check. I just give you some pointers so that you can check, okay, that you have certain things in place before you go on to the next step. We look at this in more detail in our Get More Clients Mastery program. We help you prepare your warm market campaign. We help you, or we work with you as you implement your warm market campaign, and we also support you as you follow up on the results of your campaign. Now, what is the problem that most people who are just starting out in business experience? And you might be experiencing this, so you need to know that you're not the only person in this position. So many people find themselves in this situation. So many people have a business idea, they get a business plan done, then they expect clients to come, but then that doesn't happen. So they are in shock. So what you find is they've built it and they expect, now my doors are open, they announce to the world, okay, I've started my new business, okay, let the clients come running in, and that never happens. Build it and they will come. But unfortunately, in most cases, people have built it and the clients have not turned up. So what people have are high aspirations when they start out, and suddenly those aspirations are defeated or are dashed. And in most cases, what you have is most people giving up here. But what it shows, what this shows is, it shows that probably maybe people have the skills to do the first things, like maybe just write a business plan, get their idea out, get their dream out, get it on paper. But now to turn that dream into reality is not always that straightforward, and it requires certain steps that can be learned. There's skills that can be learned, but most often they're not taught. So people stumble around in the dark trying to make things work and get so frustrated and get muddled up. So what we are doing today is to give you a step-by-step process, and in a sense I'm giving you a roadmap or a blueprint that will help you get from where you are now to a point where you can get your first 5 clients. And in the process of doing this, you'll be learning one strategy, at least one strategy or a few strategies that will, one main strategy and a few other strategies that are related to it, that will equip you to take your business to the next level. And like I said, it's only a quick start program. To go further, to go beyond that, you would need more skills, you would need other skills, you need to develop other skills. And it's important that you realize that, so that you're not stuck at that level. You know what the next step is for you. So in order for you to take that other step, what we've done is we've developed a program for you called Get More Clients, our Get More Clients Mastery Program, where you are able to master the skills that are needed. You are able to master a few techniques needed for getting clients, and that will help you take your business, build a solid business, build a solid client base, and you'll have a stream of customers constantly coming in. You won't be lacking customers to work with. So it would be just good to keep that in mind so that you don't find yourself stuck again and wonder what's gone wrong. Because what you find is that most people give up on their businesses at this point in time, and they think, okay, the idea doesn't work. And in some cases, maybe the idea hasn't been looked at properly, it hasn't been examined for its profitability before people start out. So these are things we look at in the Get More Clients Mastery Program. Okay. So basically what people start with is the big picture. They have the vision. But, you know, when you have a vision, there's also the step-by-step daily tasks that you need to take to implement that vision. And in most cases, people do not have a plan for that. They do not know what to do for that. And it's easy having a picture of where you want to be, but then you need a roadmap. You might think, okay, I want to travel to the Middle East, and that's fine. You know your destination, but what are the steps to get to your destination? And that is often what is lacking. And in most cases, people don't know what to do. Women entrepreneurs do not know exactly what steps to take, and that's where we come in at the Smarketers Academy to help you bridge that gap so that you can you have a track to run on. It's like having a train going somewhere without tracks. You will be stuck and you won't be going anywhere. So we help you get unstuck and move ahead. Okay. So as you begin to step out, I have a list of 7 things that it will be nice for you to keep in mind and remember. Now, the first one is this, and this will be useful for you, not just for marketing a business, but as you go along in your entrepreneurial journey. So the first thing you have to realize is that you need to use what you've got to get what you want. So you need to look at what you have and use that as a starting point to get what you want. And when you look at what you have and you realize you've got something, it often gives you confidence, but most of the time people look away from themselves and it kind of deflates your aspirations or deflates your hope. So you have to remember this. You need to use what you've got to get what you want. The next thing I'm going to, next tip that you need to keep in mind is this. You need to go for the low-hanging fruit. The low-hanging fruit. Now, can you imagine if in your garden there's an apple tree and there's some nice red apples at the very top of the tree, and there's some branches that have some branches that are lower down that have some that are heavy with fruit, but instead of picking the apples that are closer to you, you're reaching up for the ones at the very top. Now that will be a bit difficult. It will be difficult to get the fruits at the very top. You might need a ladder. You might need somebody else to help you to get there. But you have those fruit. You still have those apples that are within your reach. So one thing you have to think of when you're trying to market a business is you need to use what is in your reach. And if it comes to customers, there are people in your reach, and there are groups of people within your reach, already within your reach, that you should be getting your customers from, especially when you're just starting out. You need to start where you are and use what you've got. So let's go to the next one. The next point is to follow the shortest path to the money. And in most cases, what you find is that people want to do so many things, put so many things in place before they begin to bring money in. And it's so important that you start bringing money in early. And the quicker you bridge that gap, the easier it is for you. The quicker you bridge that gap, it's easy, and the easier it is for you. So, you need to, so part of what we're doing on this program is to help you follow the shortest path to the money, because you can be stuck in doing so many things, and sometimes it's a way to, it sabotages your progress, and it sabotages your success, because you're looking for ways to avoid the reality of your situation. There might be things like having to contact people, having to contact clients, and oftentimes those things can bring some type of fear. But what so the behavior of trying to do this and do that, prepare this and prepare that, might be in order to avoid the inevitable, but what you find is that you find yourself out of business and out of money if you don't start making money quickly. So what we're helping you to do with this program is to follow the shortest path to the money. Okay, so the next one is to use a step-by-step system. If you do not use a step-by-step system, you will end up confused and you will be overwhelmed. So you must do yourself a favor as you begin to step out to use a step-by-step system, and it will give you confidence because it will give you the results that you need. If you follow the instructions, you will get the results. So use a step-by-step system because that helps you. It gives you clarity. Your mind needs a path which it should follow. Most of the time when you don't have a plan, you don't know where you're going. It's like cutting through a wild bush. You'll get hurt, you'll get scratched, you'll come out tired, you'll come out frustrated, But if there was a step-by-step plan telling you, okay, go there first, and when you get there, stop there and do this next, and stop there and do that next, that's much easier, and you will make quicker progress when you do that. Okay, so the fifth point is to implement quickly. Now, one other thing that people do when they're starting their business is they're not quick to implement. They're not action takers. To successfully run a business, you have to be ready to take action. It's so you can sit here, listen to this course, go through the program, but if you do not take the next step and work through the exercises and implement whatever you've conclusions you've come to in those exercises, you need to act on them. If you don't do that, then you won't get the results. So the results do not come from just sitting here and renewing your mind, which is part of the process, because you need to, your mind has to be in alignment with the results that you're trying to get. However, your body, your physical actions also have to be in congruence with the results that you're after. So basically what we're doing with the program is to help you renew your mind, give you a visual, give you a mental image of what you're trying to achieve and how you're going to achieve it. We're going to give you exercises which you're going to have to go through to just maybe create a plan for yourself, and then you need to implement, you need to act on that plan, and not just acting on the plan. The issue is not just acting on the plan, you need to implement it quite quickly, and that is where your success lies. The quicker you can implement, the quicker you'd get those clients. So if you're trying to get those clients, 5 clients in 30 days, you need to implement quickly. You need to do more than you've done before. Basically, through these 30 days, this little program, it will be taking you out of your comfort zones. And you need to be ready to do that, because this is just, like I said earlier, a quick start program is only the tip of the iceberg. So if you can do this, if you can go through these steps successfully, then it gives you a good foundation for the rest, for building your business and for marketing your business, getting clients and making more profit. profits. Now, another tip I'd like to share with you at this point is that you need to be assertive. There will be things that you'll be asked to do or you'll be expected to do that you have not done before. One of the things is that you'd have to ask people for clients, and I'm going to try to make it as easy as possible for you. But without being assertive, you will not be able to get the results that you need. Assertiveness has to do with being decisive, being confident, and being bold. So basically being assertive is like saying, go and ask the lady down the road if she knows where the shop is. Some people might be so afraid to ask the lady down the road where the shop is, and in some cases it might be asking people. What I might be asking you to do on this program might be to ask maybe your next door neighbor if they know of anyone who needs your service. And if you're not willing to take that step, you become stuck, you stay stuck, But if you're assertive and ready to go beyond that fear and take that little action, you get unstuck. So you have to realize that you need to be assertive in this process. Then finally, I would say don't give up on your dreams. Sometimes you start and you have a plan, you have a dream, you have a desire, and like the obstacles in the way. For you to even get this program, it shows that there was an obstacle in the way, an obstacle to getting clients, to building your business. And this particular program, if you act on it and if you implement all the instructions, you'll find that obstacle is removed. But that doesn't stop other obstacles being further down the line. And like I said, our other programs, like our Get More Clients Mastery program, has been created to help you remove those obstacles. Like some of the obstacles that we face, in most cases, like let's say all the obstacles are 100%. Most of the internal obstacles account for about 80% of those obstacles, and the external ones are like 20, and most of the time we think it's the external things that are stopping us. So to get rid of the internal obstacles like our mindset and our fears, I've created a program called Client Attraction Mindset, and that will help eliminate some of the thought patterns or behavioral patterns that would sabotage your success and stop you from getting clients and making profits. Okay, so remember these 7 things because they would help you along the way. You might want to know the strategy, but these are things that you need to change your mind and change how you think to be able to get the results that you want. You can't be the same person starting out. You won't get the results that you want. You need to be ready for change, and you need to be ready to change. Now, when all the dark clouds are gone, you'll still find that the sun is still shining. So at the moment, you might be in your business, at a point in your business where it seems, oh, all these dark clouds, it doesn't seem as if my dream is going to come to pass. But I'd say to you that the sun is always there. The dark clouds come, but the dark clouds float away. And I'm hoping that as you go through this program, that some of these dark clouds will be floating away for you. Okay, let's share a bit about marketing with you. Now, we need to understand what marketing is, because oftentimes people mix things up. Marketing is simply about creating awareness. It's about creating awareness. So you're there saying, hey, I'm here, or my product is here, my service is here. And that's what you are doing, because most people don't know you're there. Most people don't know what you have. I mean, I've found in so many cases, or so many times, I know people so well, but I never knew their business, or they've written a book and I never knew about it, or they've created a service or created a program and I really never knew about it. So the first thing you want to make sure when you're marketing is that people are aware of what you do. I mean, they might not necessarily need what you do, but there needs to be a general awareness. Now, if the closest people to you are not aware of what you're doing, then you have not really marketed your business. You have not marketed your service or product, because because they're aware. Other people will become aware because they will tell other people. So awareness continues to increase and it continues to grow. So you need to keep this in mind. You need to think, okay, if you look at your market on a scale of 1 to 10, or the people that you know on a scale of 1 to 10, how many of them know what you're doing? How many of them know what you're about? So like I'm saying, one of the first steps is creating awareness. So you need to get the word out. And that is one of the things that we're going to help you do on this program. But where do you start? Now, that's the difficulty that most people have. And unless you have a systematic plan, or you approach your marketing in a systematic way, it becomes very difficult and it seems like it's an impossible task. So if you look at all these circles, they are the different areas or different spheres that you can possibly influence. And sometimes when we start a new business, we're wanting to reach the outer circle or the outer sphere, whereas we're down here and we're trying to reach over there. What we have to realize is that we need to start where we are. We need to start with the people closest to us. So what you need to identify is your current circle of influence. You need to look at your world now. This is my world now. These are the people I'm connected to now. And it's generally said that each a person generally is generally connected to at least 250 people. So if you look at that circle that represents your current world, there are probably about 250 people within it that you can share your product or service with. Now, I'm not saying that you will not eventually reach those outer markets or those outer circles. However, as you could see, there might be a cost in terms of time to be able to reach the other markets. There might be a cost in terms of there might be a cost in terms of time, and there might be a cost in terms of money to be able to reach those outer circles. And it would, so if you're wanting to get clients quickly, and if you want to get your business going quickly, because some people, the choice they might have, some people listening to this, your choice may be, I need to get my business going quickly because I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to. You might have children who you want to stay at home with. So it takes time to penetrate each of these circles that you could see here, or to reach people in those different segments of the market. But you can work with what you have. Like I mentioned earlier, you can start where you are, and you need to keep that in mind. Now, it doesn't mean that that's where you're going to stay, and it doesn't mean that those are the type of clients that you're going to have to work with forever, but it's only saying that this is the easiest, this is where I am now, and this is what I have now, and this is where I can start now. Generally, when you are in any situation, the first thing you have to do is look at what you have in your hands, and the people that are around you, that might represent friends, family, maybe colleagues, will look at the different aspects of this world in a few minutes, but that's where you are now, and they're the ones that you have influence or credibility with at this point in time. So basically, what we're going to be doing on this program is to teach you how to set up your own warm market referral network. So I'm going to teach you a warm market referral system or strategy. So this is one strategy that you can master and use for marketing your business. Now, you don't need that many at this point. to achieve this 30-day goal. You can use this one strategy and master and use it to its fullest to be able to generate those 5 clients that you want. Okay. So basically, it's going to be about asking your warm market for referrals. Now, what is your warm market, or who is in your warm market? Now, when you are marketing, there are terms like a cold market or a warm market. Now, when you're reaching out to someone, if you're trying to do business with someone who you do not know, you have no contact with, like sometimes you have people calling you up that you don't know, and they're trying to sell you something over the phone. That is actually a cold market. But when we now talk about your warm market, this is a market made up of people that you already know, people you're already in contact with and you're still in contact with. You know, it makes the when I'm thinking about this, I think of it in agricultural terms. It's like you have a piece of ground and you want to plant seeds in the ground. You can't plant it on hard ground. So your business is the seed, or your services or products, they are the seeds that you have. But the ground is like the marketplace. Now, if you go to, if you start trying to sell to people who you have no relationship with or no contact with, it's like trying to sow those seeds on hard ground. It hasn't been dug up, it hasn't been plowed, it hasn't been uprooted, the weeds are not uprooted, maybe you still have rocks there. So it will be effort, it would take a lot of effort before you can actually penetrate that market. So the idea is to look for a market that is already cultivated. You know, the soil is dug up, you have a relationship with them, you probably spoke to them last night or you sent them an email last week. So these are people that you're already in relationship with and you're constantly in communication with. So they form your warm market and they know you so well. So it's easier for you to make a sale with them, and it's easier for them to trust you and to refer people to you. So basically, in terms of the strategy that we're using, one of the main tools that you're going to, or one of the main strategy is to ask for referrals. Now, I mentioned earlier that you need to be assertive. That one thing that would lead to your success is assertiveness. So you need to know that, okay, I'm going to have to be assertive. And can you imagine if you had to now ask people that you don't know about clients? That will be, you will need a lot of confidence to do that. And you'll probably have to take a lot of no's. You might get some yeses, but you might have a lot more no's before you get a yes. But now I've made it easier for you, because now you can approach people who you already have a relationship with, who you're already in communication with, and be assertive. You need to be assertive enough to ask them for referrals. I mentioned earlier that you needed to set your goal, and in our case, it's the first 5 clients in 30 days. So we're looking to get our first 5 clients in 30 days, and we're going to take a 5-step process to do this. So the first part of the process is to prepare your foundation, and I'll share with you what that is in a few minutes. Then after that, you build your list. And this is the list of people in your warm market. The next step is to prepare your campaign. Okay, let me just go back a bit. When you prepare your foundation, you're looking at things like, who are you going to target? What are you providing the market? What are you selling? You know, and then you look at things like, okay, who am I trying to sell it to? Okay, so in preparing your foundation, you look at a few questions of that nature. Now you build your list, and your list will be your warm market, because if you have something to sell, you have to have an audience to sell it to. So basically, you're going to have to identify specific people who might want your service or product, or who might refer others to buy your product or service. Now, once you've done your list, once you've built your list, the next thing you want to do is to prepare your campaign. Now, you've got your list, you've got your service and products that you're going to sell. Your campaign will be, okay, how am I going to approach them? And in our case, we will look at writing a letter to your warm market, or it could be a text message. It depends on what your product is, because depending on the nature of your product, some products you might not need to be that formal, and it may be easily explainable. You can send a text message about it to the people on your list, and sometimes keeping it that informal makes it easier, and they're not thinking, oh, it's a big thing you're asking them. However, if it's a more complex service or product, something that you need to explain a bit more in detail, it might be better to do a letter. And I've got with the program, you've got some examples of these of text messages or letters that you can send to your warm market. So after the campaign, after preparing your letter or your campaign, you will have to execute your campaign. And then once it's executed, that means you're sending your letter or you're sending your text message. And as soon as you start sending your text message, you have people responding to you saying, okay, I've got your message, I've got your text message, I've got your letter. Okay, I'll keep you in mind. Yes, I know of someone, who needs that service, or I need that service or product. So you start getting people responding to you once you've sent your campaign off. So what you need to do finally is to follow up on those calls. So that's the 5-step process that I'll be going through in more detail in a few minutes. So let's look at how you can prepare your foundation. So the first thing you need to be clear about is what you do. Business is about clarity. To be able to market or sell anything, you need to be clear in your mind about what it is that you do, because you're going to have to explain it to people. And if people are unclear, they won't buy. If you're not sure about something, when people are confused or not clear about a thing, they don't make decisions. So if you want people to make a decision or to choose your product, you need to know what you do. You need to know exactly what you do. So I'm just using an example, my example, to help you work out what you do. In my case, I would say I help women entrepreneurs start their businesses strategically. I help them get more clients and make more profits. So you will need to think of something similar about yourself and your business. Another thing I say when people ask me what I do, I can also say something like, I help women entrepreneurs build their businesses with clients and profits factored in from ground up. So I help them build their businesses, but I help them build it in a way that they have taken into account the type of clients that they're going to get and the profits they're going to make from ground up. So it's not a second thought. You're not thinking about it as an afterthought. Okay, now I've done what I've needed to do. I've built my foundation and I'm trying now to get clients. How do I do it? It has to all work together. It all flows together. So this is what I would say I do. Okay, so that first one is, what do you do? The second question that you need to be able to answer is, who do you work with? Remember, you're going to be asking people for referrals, but they need to know what you do. So if I'm going to tell somebody, for instance, if you're telling me to help you with your business and tell people, find clients, or if I know of anyone who might want your service, I need to know what you do. I need to know who you do it with. So let's look at this. So the second question is, who do you work with? And in my example, I would say I work with women entrepreneurs. So that's women in business. But I work with women with specific types of businesses. And in my case, the women with service-based businesses. And most often, the women I work with are women like you who are just starting out in business, who don't know how to get the first few clients. So that's how I define the people I work with. Women entrepreneurs with service-based businesses who might be coaches, consultants, maybe they give advice. But the women who are just starting out in business, who don't know how to get their first few clients. So when I'm able to explain or articulate who I work with in such detail, the person I'm speaking to might think, oh, okay, I know a friend of mine who's struggling to get clients. Okay, I'll refer her to you. So you need to be able to explain who you work with in more detail, not just women entrepreneurs. Okay, otherwise you'll have them referring the wrong type of people to you, and it ends up being a waste of their time and your time. So you need to educate your clients properly. Okay. Now, the second, still on the same point of who do I work with, because I work with three main categories of women. So I work with women who are struggling to get, women who are just starting out, who want to get their first few clients. Or I could say I work with women entrepreneurs with service-based businesses who have been in business for a little while, who still struggle with marketing their business and who want to learn how to get consistent streams of new clients and take their business to the next level. Yeah. So as you give you a description of the woman you work with, it might be one category of women, and it might be easier to do that because you're working on a 30-day program, a small program. So you might just want to focus that program on one category of women using one product that you sell. Maybe it might be one category of clients that you want to direct it at. Yeah, so then the third category of women I work with is women who want to get outstanding business results and build a six-figure business. Okay, so all I'm just trying to say is that you need to be able to answer these questions, and in the work, you've got worksheets that will help you, will just guide you through doing this, or guide you with doing this. Okay, so the third question you want to answer is why you do it. So like I said, the first thing was what you do, who you do it with, and why you do it. You need to know the answers to these three questions. And basically, if people ask me, why do you do what you do? Okay, I'm an advocate for women, so one of the reasons I do it is because I'm passionate about helping to empower women through enterprise. I'm passionate about business, and I see it as a way to empower women. I love to help women remove some of their major obstacles to entrepreneurial success and future prosperity, because you find that you find that women struggle more when it comes to making ends meet, and they've got the children to look after, and so on and so forth. I would also say maybe things like, did you know that 3% of women have financially stable lives? Only 3% of women have financially stable lives, yeah? And 7 out of 10 women live at the poverty level at some point in their lives. So basically, I'm not just in business because people want to know why you do what you do. And sometimes because they know, they might not even buy into what you do, but they might buy into why you do it. And because of that, they may become an advocate for your business. They might be passionate about helping you to promote that cause. Okay, so we want to look for ways to make it easier for them to be able to share your business with other people or refer people to you. And oftentimes people resonates, your why resonates with them, and then they're able to, you make it easier for them to refer people to you. Rather, in most cases you might have another, for instance, there might be another business coach out there who does similar work to I do, which is marketing, and because of my why, some people might refer people to me because they want to, they have bought into this same vision of helping women out of poverty, so they will buy into your why and refer people to you for that purpose. Or some people might do business with you because of your why. So don't leave it out. It's an important part of the picture. So we looked at the first thing, what you do. We've looked at the second thing, who you do it with. We've looked at the third thing, which is why you do it. Now, what we also need to know, what you need to know is why, what do they want? What do your target market want? Now, I know that you've probably come to this program with an idea of a business. So I'm hoping that you've researched your business to find out what your client target market want. Now, there's a difference between what they need and what they want. What they need is looking at the client from your perspective. When you say, oh, this is what my client needs, you see somebody walking without shoes and you think, oh, they need shoes. But that's not their perspective. That's your perspective. You're thinking they need shoes. They might not need shoes. They might not think, oh, I need shoes. They might think, oh, I need somebody to give me a lift. And that might be of more of a priority for them than the need for shoes. So they might think, oh, I need someone to give me a lift. I need a bicycle or something, but you're thinking shoes. They might not want to buy shoes because they're saving their money up to buy a bicycle, So all I'm just trying to say is that the need, when the person has a need, you're looking at it from your perspective. But when you start to look at things from the client perspective, which is what you need to do for business success, you begin to look at what they want. And to know what they want, the market has to tell you what they want. The client has to tell you what they want. And this is where your research comes into play. So you need to know what they want. And in most cases, you need to go beyond what they want to have something that will sell quite quickly. So what you find generally is people go out and try to do business, try to sell what people need. And in most cases, people won't buy what you think they need because they know what they want. So most people's businesses don't get off the ground, or you don't get clients because they're trying to sell what people need, not what they want. Now, some people go out thinking, okay, yes, I know what they want. I've asked them, they say they want this, but why aren't they buying it? Now, oftentimes people might buy what they want, but they don't always buy it, or they might not even buy it now. Now, it's so important to know the difference between what people need, what they want, and what they must have. So when you take it another step further, that brings some time element to it. There's an urgency to it. There's an urgency added on top of that want. That means they must have it now. Yeah. So when you're in the market selling something that people must have, you will succeed more than a person who is trying to sell what people want or what people need. So part of this element is part of the elements that make up the foundation of your business is making sure you know what you're selling, who you're selling it to, why you're selling it, and you need to make sure that you're selling what people must have, what they must have. And that is so key to marketing, getting more clients and making more profits. If you really, really are serious about if you don't want to chase clients and you want clients to come to you, you must have what they want, or what they must have. You must sell what they must have. If you sell what they need, you'll be chasing them. If you sell what they want, you might have 50-50. Half of them are chasing you, and you are spending half the time chasing them. But if you sell what they must have, it will be them chasing you in most cases. It makes the work easier for you. So, like I said, at the Smart Marketers Academy, we teach you how to build your business the smart way, and this is one of the strategies that we share with you to enable you to do that. Earlier on, I spoke about you need to be assertive when you're marketing and selling. When you sell what people already want, you can easily be assertive. Or let's say what they must have, you can be assertive. If you know some people want something, it's easier for you to go up to them and say, I've got this, are you interested in it now? But if you're not sure that people want it, if you think they need it, you're not even sure what they want, it makes it more difficult for you to approach people or to be assertive. Okay. And when you are assertive, all you're trying to do is, okay, I've got this. I know you want this. Do you want it now? So you're more assertive, and all you're doing is finding the right match. You're not trying to force things on them. You're trying to, okay, it's here now. Do you want it now, or do you want it later? In most cases, they probably would want it now, or they would want it later, but they would want it sometime in the near future or in the distant future. However, if you go out to sell what you think people need, you'll end up being aggressive, because you're going to try to force them to buy what they don't want or don't need. You're going to have to force what they don't want on them. And I've had people do that to me, and I'm sure that you've had people do that to you, and it's not pleasant at all. And that's one of the reasons why people do not like to sell, or people do not like to market, because they end up trying to force people into buying what they want. You can't coerce people to buy what they want. They might buy from you for the first time, but when they see you the next time, they will run a mile. Okay, so when you so what you need to be is assertive when you're selling, not aggressive. You'll be assertive if you plan your foundation right and you're selling what they want and must have, rather than what they need or what you don't even know they need, or what you think you want to sell. Some people wake up with a passion or the dream and want to sell it. You know, they haven't tested it. They might not have found the right market or a group of people who really want what they have. And it's often like forcing a square peg into a round hole, and in doing so, you hurt yourself. The customer or potential customer gets hurt, and then it comes up. You'll end up not liking marketing, but marketing can actually be a very likable activity if you're taking to people what you know they already want. You're serving them with what they want. Okay. Now, the fifth thing you need to do is to know what you're offering. You need to package your offering. If you're selling services, if you're a coach, if you're a trainer, you need to package that, because sometimes what you're selling might be a bit too abstract, or it might be in concrete. It might not be concrete. So you need to make it a bit concrete by packaging it. So you package it and tell them, okay, this is the name of what I'm selling. It might be 5 weeks of coaching, or it might be an ebook and some worksheets, or a course, a 7-day course. So once you packaged it, it's a concrete thing that you can now offer them, and it's much more easier for you to sell or get clients when you have a packaged offer to sell, rather than just a service that isn't packaged in any way. Okay. So once you've built your foundation, which is what we've looked at so far, the next thing you want to do now is to build your warm market list. Now, with your warm market list, what you find is that the people in that market are people you already have credibility with. Before people buy from you, they want to trust you and they want to know that you're credible. And it does take time to build trust, and depending on how you want to build your credibility, sometimes it can take time. Even though I have a technique which I came up with called the instant credibility technique, where I show you how you're able to get credibility quite quickly. Yeah, so with your warm market, because when you have credibility in a particular market, it's easier to sell to that market. So with your warm market, it's easier for you to approach them, and it's easier for you to generate clients from that market in the set time that we've put aside, the 30 days. Okay. So when we look at our warm market list, let's have a quick look at the different elements that might make up your warm market list, or the different people that might be on your list. So you might have family. You might start with family, because your family can know people. They're connected to people. Remember, I said each person is connected to about 250 people, and each member of your family can be connected to 250 people. So if you have 4 members of your family, they might be within that pool. You have about 1,000 people who they can expose your business to. You've got friends, you've got colleagues, you've got social media contacts, you've got business card contacts, social groups you attend, you've got professional associations, and your list can go on and on. Now, in most cases, you have these different circles may make up your current circle of influence. These are people you already have contact with, you have some level of credibility with, they know you, you spent time with them, they know your character, they know what you're able to do, they know your skills. So it's easier for them to do business with you, or for them to recommend you to other people. So let's say you've got two types of lists. What you need to do is from your warm market, from your warm list, which is what we looked at just a few minutes ago, the different categories of people that might form that, make that up. You need to, from that, create two lists. And the first list will be a list of potential clients. So there are people within my market that may be potential users of my service or products. Okay, not everybody in your market will be a user or a potential user of your product or service, but there will be a few people within that. So you want to put those people on a separate list, the people who would directly use who might end up being your client or customer. Then the second list, you want people who know other people that may be users of your products or services. So you might have, for instance, if you're selling, if you're selling, for instance, a health product or a health service for women, you might have women in your warm markets that would use your service, and you may have men in your warm market. They might not necessarily use your service, but they might have a wife, they might have a sister, they might have an aunt, they might have a colleague. So they would fit into your referral list, while the people who are likely users of your product and service will be part of your potential client list. Okay, so once you've done your list, you've created your list, and by creating a list, you're going to write the names of those people down. You're going to create a database of those names and addresses. Then you need to write your letter. Now let's look at the fourfold purpose of your letter. When you're writing your letter, first of all, you build rapport, you reestablish contact if they've been people you have not been in contact with for a while. You inform them about your new business, about the changes in your life, and then you educate them about who your potential client is and why you're doing it, and who a good referral might be. So I'll just go over those 4 steps again. The first part of it is to build rapport. So you're just saying, how are you doing, how are the kids, how's the family, depending on their personal life. So you just talk to them about their personal life. Then you reestablish contact. So for instance, if there are people who you haven't spoken to in a while, you can just bring them back up to date on your current life and the changes that have happened since you last spoke with them. You inform them of your business. Maybe you've just started a new business, or you've just moved into a new niche, or you've become a supplier of a product or service. And then you educate them on the type of people that you want them to send to you. That means who your target market is and who is a best type of client for your business as a referral or a user. So the content of your letter, and by the way, I would just like to say that with this particular program, we've got letters. I've got a few letters that you can use as a template. I've drafted a few letters so you can use them as a template for your own personal letter. So first you greet and build rapport. Then you tell them about the new changes in your life. Tell them about your business. Tell them about the services you provide. Tell them about any free taster program or freebie that you have and how they can pass that benefit on to their contacts. So that's a good one actually, because if they're telling, most people don't like to take from people. You know, if they feel like they're taking from others by telling them about your service, they might not want to do so. So if you have them, if you're able to give them something to offer their client as a gift or as a benefit, then they might be willing to do that much easily. Now, the way we help you build your business within the Smart Marketers Academy positions you as a giver of benefits to your potential audience. It also puts you in a position where you're providing what they're already looking for. You're providing what they already, what they must have. So it's no longer, it's no longer the client trying to do you a benefit. To do you a favor by buying from you. In most cases, it will be you trying to give the client a benefit that they want or that they're already looking for. You know, so it's like a perfect match, what you have and what they want. They're already looking for it. So it's not the sales process becomes much easier and much smoother. And it's easier for other people to tell them about your product because it's something that they want and must have. So you tell them about the type of referrals you're looking for in your letter, and then you educate them on how they should make a referral to you. So you might say, okay, you can pass my card on, pass my business card on, or pass my email address on, or let me know about them and I will contact them. Yeah. So these are things, 7 things that should be in your letter to make it effective as a letter asking for referral. Yeah, like I said, the seventh part is how they should make a referral to you. So it's like you can arrange an introduction. You can ask them, oh, can you introduce me? Can you introduce me? Do you mind introducing me to them? Or you can ask them to pass your contact details on and so forth. Then once you've written your letter, the next thing you need to do is execute your warm market campaign. And a campaign is an organized effort aimed at influencing the decision-making process of a specific group. So it's an organized effort. So your campaign is not a one-off thing. You know, it's an organized effort. And the whole idea of the campaign is through the campaign, you're trying to influence the decision-making process of that specific group of people. So you need to decide on the frequency of your campaign. Let me just backtrack a bit. For instance, you might think, okay, I'm going to run this campaign. Then I'm going to try to get 200 people on my list, on my warm market list, and every day I'll contact 10 people out of that list. Then once you've contacted them all for the first time, you might decide that, okay, everyone I've contacted as part of my warm market campaign, I'm going to send them an email monthly to share with them the happenings in my business and the success stories and so on and so forth. So the frequency of your contact with them can be monthly, and that's after you've done the initial campaign, you've contacted the first time. Or it could be quarterly. You might just contact your whole list to update them on what's happening within your business and to keep your business in the forefront of their mind. Okay, so you can send your letter, and you can do it one-on-one. You can just send a letter to one person, or you can send a mass letter, depending what the letter is and what you're actually doing at that point in time. For instance, if you're just updating them, you might have a newsletter which you now send to the people on your warm market list, which is a form of a follow-up. it's a way of keeping in touch with that particular audience, and like I said earlier, keeping you in front of their mind. So your letters can be one-on-one to them, but there's nothing wrong with you sending a mass email. That means you're sending an email to a group of people. If it's a newsletter and what you're saying is basically the same to everyone, but after sending that mass email or the email to the group of people, there's nothing wrong with also contacting them one-on-one, maybe sending them a card, sending a text message, sending them a phone, calling them, sending them a little present or a thank you gift as part of your process of following up. Okay, like I said, you probably want to look at sending 10 warm letters a day, or you can send 20 text messages a day. So you need to decide on what you're going to do, what your activity level is going to be as you run your campaign. What you need to keep in mind as you run your campaign is you need time to follow up, because as soon as you send 10 text messages or 20 text messages or 10 warm letters, you have them responding, and you need to be able to respond back. You need to be able to keep up with that. So you need to keep that in mind. So as you decide on your goal for the number of people you want to contact each day, make sure you set aside time for follow-up. So like I said, you need to send your letter, then follow up. Then if a referral, once they've referred someone to you and a job comes out of that, you need to get back to the person who's made that referral and give them feedback. So we look at the 5-step process again. So it's preparing your foundation, and that's knowing what you're selling, knowing who you're selling it to, why you're selling it, and we had those 5 points at the preparing a foundation level. Then you build your list. So you've got your warm market, and you divide them into 2 lists, and those who are potential clients and those who might be referrals. Okay, then you prepare your campaign, and basically you decide on, okay, your letter and the content of your letter, or it might be a text message. Like I said, it depends on the service and products that you might be selling. Some are more complex, some are easier to explain, so you make sure you choose the right media for the right purpose. Then you execute your campaign, and you can do it one-on-one. I mean, in most cases it might be the same letter that you're sending to people, but you might just adjust it slightly. Okay, so you execute your campaign, and once you've executed your campaign, you need to follow it up. And in following up, it could be a newsletter that you send to the people, to your referral list now. It could be a newsletter that you send to them about things that are happening within your business, updates and success stories of clients, so that your business is kept in the forefront of their mind. And like I said, you might need to follow up one-on-one, or send a card, send a gift, you might send an article. You just keep on keeping in touch with your warm market list, and that will continue to generate the necessary business at this stage in your business. And like I said, this is a quick start program, and only what I've shared so far, even though it might sound comprehensive, is only the tip of the iceberg of what we cover. And we have other client attraction strategies that you would need to learn about and skill yourself with. And these are more in-depth strategies that will help you take your business to the next level. So thank you very much for buying into this program and attending the program. And that's Davida. I'm Davida Yemi-Akale, and the founder of the Smart Marketers Academy, where we help you build your business smart, get more clients, and make more profits. Thank you.